Hi and welcome to a really simple, easy tutorial for making your very first web page. Now we're going to click onto the Windows key to get to the Start menu. Now you need to find your program that we're going to type it up in, and the program's called Notepad, and on my one it's sitting right there, but on yours it probably won't be. So what you do is you don't click anywhere, you just start typing, look for the software you're after, and it should pop up in the search list, and click on it and there it is. So it's Notepad. Now this is where we type our code for our web page, and the first thing we type in is the doctype declaration, and I just copied and pasted it earlier, so I cheated, but you can type that in there now. Pause the video if you need to. Then the next thing that we're going to type in is open pointy bracket, HTML, close pointy bracket. That goes at the start of every web page and at the end of every web page. I've just gone down a random number of spaces. You put in a close HTML. Now I've got this little habit of doing things quickly, and that means whenever I'm typing my pointy bracket tags, I have a weird habit of going like this. I type the tags first and then I type the stuff in between them. You don't need to do that. That's just my weird way of doing it that I find faster. As long as your tags look the same as mine, that's all good. Okay, so now let's start by getting it saved in the right place before we get too much further. So you can hit the save button. Now I don't want to save it there, I don't even know where that place is, so I'm going to go Libraries, Documents, and these are my messy documents, and I'm going to make a new one called, actually I made it a minute ago, where is it? It's called My First Website. There you go. So you'll click on that and you'll make a new a new folder called My First Website. And I'm going to call my web page Index, which seems to be a good name for a website, for a web page. And once I've typed in index, you need to go down the bottom here, click on that and select HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, and that will save it in the right format to turn it into a web page. Now I've already got a file in there called index, so when I save mine, it's going to pop up, do you want to replace it? And I'm going to go yes, but yours shouldn't do that little thing. Okay, so now we're back to our page. I can tell I've saved it with the right HTML format because the colors have changed, and it just gives you little helpful color codes for you. You don't change the colors yourself, the software does that. It's really helpful. So now whatever's in my web page, I wonder if it will work if I just typed hello in between those two tags. Something might happen. If I want to see what my web page looks like, actually I don't think anything will happen, I'm just testing it now, but you always have to save it. Every time you make a change you have to save it again and again, and whenever you've made a change, this thing here turns red, so you know it's your reminder to save it, so you save it. Then if we want to see what it looks like as an actual web page, I'm going to go Run Launch in Chrome, because that's my favorite. Hey, it's a web page and it says hello. That's pretty cool. Okay, I think I will drag that one over to that side of the page so that I can see it as I work. Leave Notepad over here. Okay, but so far I've got the word hello to show up on my web page, but there's a lot more to it than that. So now I'm going to make the head of the web page. So we tab across just because it's a good habit, and head is how I start off the head section of the page, and then I'm going to close the head section of the page, and whatever I put in between there will be information about the page, but it doesn't show up on the page. So I think my page needs a title, definitely. A title is always handy. Title, and what am I going to call it? I'm going to call it My First Web Page is Awesome. And got to close that. Most tags need to have an opening and a closing tag. Okay, title. And what's that going to do to it? So I'm going to save it again. I'm going to go over here to my web page and refresh it so I can see if it's changed anything. And hey, it's put the name of the page up there. That's what the title tag does. It puts the name up there. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to start playing with what's in the guts of the page, in the body of the page, which, not very surprisingly, we call body. So that's the start of the body of the page. And the last thing before the closing HTML tag is close body. So everything between those two tags, oh, it's not indented. it's really nice to have it kind of matching. The outermost things are the HTML. The next layer in are head and body, and whatever's between them gets indented across. So that wants to be indented across. Okay, that shouldn't have changed my page at all because all I've done is add tags that sort of set up the structure of my page. Now let's try some other things. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go hello, and I'm going to paste, have quite a few lines just with that. Seems very odd so far, but it'll come clear in a minute. Save it, reload the web page, and all it says is hello, hello, hello. Now, notice how just because I go hit the enter key on this in Notepad, it hasn't done it on my web page. If I want it to drop down a line, I need a tag, which is one of the few without a closing tag, and it's a, darn it, can I even remember? BR. Let's just test that. Save. I just used a shortcut, that's why I didn't go up there and click. I just went Control S to save, and I'm going to go over here, another shortcut, F5. Hey, look, it dropped down a line. So the BR drops it down a line. What happens with the next one? This is a, oh, I didn't mean to type a full stop. Okay, this is a P tag, also known as paragraph. Let's give that a whirl. So we save it, go over here, we refresh it. Hey, it dropped it down, but this time it left a space. So I suppose, what do I want to do for what I want to show you next? I don't really need the spaces, so I'll change that to a BR. And because I'm lazy or efficient, whichever way you want to look at it, I'm going to copy, I'm going Control C, Control V to copy and to paste. So I should now have just put each of the words hello on its own line. I suppose that last one didn't really need it because there's nothing after it. And Control S to save, click over here, F5 to reload. All good, it's dropped them down. Now the next cool thing I can do, I can change the sizes of my words, and that's why I purposely wrote the same word lots of times so I can show off to you because that's always fun. Okay, H1 stands for heading 1. It does need a closing tag, and the starting tag and the closing tag match. This program's really cool. You click on one of them and it highlights both of them to show you where the buddy is. So if I clicked in body down there, I couldn't find where it started because web pages do get quite long. I can find it up there. Okay, so I've put H1 around that word hello. Let's see what it does. Save, reload. Whoa, it made it huge. Okay, what about H2? H2 needs a closing tag. Save. 5. Oh, it's a bit smaller. I'm thinking now that I've given them different tags, I actually don't need these these line breaks because it's doing it by itself. Every time I add a new H1, H2, H3 tag, it's giving it its own paragraph spacing, which is kind of helpful. Okay, close H3. Let's just see what that one does. Okay, so see what they do, they get smaller. Now, what else we could do? We could make our writing bold, because that's always fun. B for bold. Close B. Italic. I for italic. Close, oops, forgot the close, slash, I. And underline. Oops, we don't usually use underline anymore. And in fact, I don't even know whether it is U for underline. We'll find out in a minute, won't we? Okay, save, reload, 5. Oh, nice. Oh, so that's interesting. That didn't drop them down, give them a paragraph spacing, but it did change them to bold, italic, and underline. Okay, what else could we work in here onto our page? How about a random tag all by itself called an HR? I'll show you what that one does. Save, reload. It's called hard rule, puts a line across your page. Now, what else? I think I'll actually stop this here, give you time to do that before we go on to our new tutorial, which is going to be how to put in a picture, how to put in a link, and how to start playing with the colors, because that's really fun. But I reckon this is enough for now. Make sure you save, have a go.